everyone. Thank you so much for coming back to this Limitless Live podcast that we do weekly on Mondays at around 2 o'clock. I really appreciate you being here today. Every month, I'm just coming up with a different theme for the month, and we go through that theme with different lives. And today, I really want to start with something that might surprise you. This month, we're talking about intellectual life, and intellect is so important for us as human, as lifelong learners. Did you know that an average American reads between 1 and 2 books a year? 1 to 2 books. Now think about it. In a world where we have access to the greatest knowledge in the human history, most people just don't use it. And the truth is that if you are not intentionally feeding your mind is being programmed by default. Your mind is being programmed by social media. It's been programmed by news. And it's been programmed by other people's opinions. So the question is, what exactly are you trying to achieve in this world? And I'm not asking, are you learning? The question I'm asking is, what is shaping your thinking to know what it is that you want to achieve in this world? Because the mind doesn't stay empty. It always gets filled. And I want to talk about how you can control on what exactly you're filling your mind with. Now, let me tell you something so powerful. Each successful person that you admire is a reader. Leaders read. Thinkers also read. And people who grow, they read too. Why? Because when you read, you gain access to minds that are greater than your own. You sit with thinkers. You learn from experience. And you shortcut years of struggle. Jim Rohn used to say, the difference between where you are today and where you'll be in 5 years is in the books you read and in the people that you meet. Let this sink for a minute. Because books can change your life. One idea, one sentence, one shift in perspective can completely transform how you see yourself and how you see the world. Now let's talk about that. If someone ate junk food all day, we would expect their body to suffer, right? But what do you think happens when you feed your mind with junk? Endless scrolling, drama, negativity, shallow content. We don't always see it immediately. But over time, it shows up. It shows up as lack of focus. It shows up by weak thinking, low motivation, confusion, and indecision. Because your brain becomes what you feed it. So I want you to ask yourself a very powerful question today. Is my current information diet helping me grow, or is it keeping me stuck? Because if you want a powerful life, you must build a powerful mind. And that requires intentional input. Reading is not something that you do if you have time. And I hear a lot of people say, oh, I don't have time to read. And when they ask me how many books I read about 7 to 8 books a month. They say, how do you have time for that? You make time. Reading is something that you do because you are building your future. And here is the shift that I want you to make. Stop seeing reading as a task. Start seeing reading as training. You're training your focus, your thinking, even your vocabulary and your communication skills. You're even training your confidence every page you read. And every page you read is a specific training for your brain, just like a gym. The result don't come from one session. When you go to the gym, you don't start with the highest weight. You do that progressively. The results come with consistency. 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. That's how you build powerful minds. So if you tell me right now, I don't have time, I don't believe that you cannot find 10 minutes a day to fit in your reading. I'm sure that you have more time to scroll mindlessly. So let me give you something to practice on, because I don't want you to just read. I want you to read and allow yourself a transformation. Because there are two types of readers. There are passive readers, and there is powerful readers or active readers. Passive readers just finish a book. They finish a book, the book goes back on the shelf, and that becomes shelf help, not self-help. Powerful readers, those are readers that change because of the books they read. So they actually read the book, but they also implement what they've read. And here's what I want you to do. Every time you read, ask yourself, what is the idea of this book? Do I agree or disagree with that? And it's okay to disagree with certain ideas, but make sure that you actually understand, how can I apply this in my life? And here's the secret weapon. Write it down. Start a thinking journal. Or like I thought my 7-year-old daughter, when she reads, she has a book journal. Every book, every chapter, one sentence that you understand. My 7-year-old does this. You can do that. You read a book, you read a chapter. It doesn't have to be paragraphs upon paragraphs. You just write. Start that thinking journal, because when you write, you activate much deeper thinking. And what you think deeper, you grow faster. So now, I know many of you would think, oh, but you don't know my life. I don't have time for this. I am not a good reader. I haven't read in years. I hear all that. So what I want to do today is I want to invite you. I want to invite you because I've been running a book club at my center for years now. And at Exceed Learning Center, we created that book club very intentionally because it's a space for people who want more. They want more growth. They want more clarity. They want more intellectual expansion. We have teen book club and we have adult book club. We don't read fiction. We read personal development for both teens and adult. And this is not just a reading book, because this is really about discussing the ideas. How many times you read a book and you don't even remember what you read, but when you discuss it, you actually do remember that. You expand your thinking, you build confidence, and you learn how to even express yourself and how to understand better through other people's eyes. Because reading alone is powerful, but reading and discussing is transformative. That's where ideas actually become real. There's so many books we read throughout the year. This month we're reading The Atlas of the Heart, the different emotions that you have. Different emotions. Most people define their emotions as 4 things: good, bad, sad, happy. That's most of the people. But really, there are so many deeper emotions that you're feeling. And we talked about it in the month of February. If you don't name it, you can't tame it. So reading that book, The Atlas of the Heart, it allows us to understand the deeper feelings. And that's really the transformation, because now that you understand your feelings, you can actually do something about it. And this is where we come up with ideas on how do we identify the feelings. And we talk about that. We have a nice group of people, all really, really into growing and personal development. And that's where your voice can be developed. That's where your thinking can be sharpened. So if you are someone that says, I want to grow, I want to think better, and I want to become more confident, this is for you. This is your community. And I want to invite you all today for a completely free month of book club. We're starting in April. We're having our second meeting of the month. There are 2 meetings a month. We read halfway through and then we meet again at the end of the month. If you want to just come and see what it's about. But I'm also inviting you for a completely free month of book club. Just message me privately or comment below and you've got this. It doesn't matter if you're a teen or an adult, but I want to really give this to you, because once you understand the true power of reading and how much you can learn from other people's writing, you have no idea how much transformation there is. Most people really live on surface. They scroll, they react, they repeat, but very small percentage of people choose something different because they go deeper, they think, they read, and they grow. And those people are who you can call leaders. So make your decision today. You are not an average. You are not passive. You are intentional. You are building your mind. You are feeding your brain. You are becoming someone different. Because when you change your thinking, you change your life. I'm going to talk about this next week as well. I have another idea that I want to cover for this intellectual month, and that's how to express your idea with confidence and with clarity. And it's so important that you're able to do that. But in the meantime, I want you to remember that readers don't just gain knowledge, they gain power, because knowledge is just potential power until you use it. I'll see you all next week, and thank you so much for joining me today.